I don't know if we do that when we're in the kingdom of heaven or not.
Oh, through walls as well.
Pardon?
Through walls as
yes,
well.
Well, that goes with it.
Yes.
Okay.
And you will recognize yourself in everything you see.
Okay.
You will have the conscious experience of it all being one.
Okay.
Just a moment. It is not appropriate for you to be finding yourself being lost.
To be fighting it?
Pardon?
To be fighting it or defining myself that way?
No, it is not appropriate for you to... Just a moment. Becoming lost is not appropriate.
Oh, okay.
It is not to be embraced as though it had some purpose.
Okay.
It is to be challenged as an illusion to become free of.
Okay, okay. That's good. Thank you.
You are welcome. I know you know how to do that. I just needed to tell you that that was what was needed.
I needed that too.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Hands? Right here.
Hi, Raj.
Good afternoon.
I'm having trouble, as usual, with a lot of tears.
Put her near a reservoir.
I know. A large one. Actually, there's a couple of things I'd like to ask. One is something that I'm just curious about, and it's been coming into my mind a lot lately. And my husband passed on a number of years ago, and I'm just curious if he's awake.
You're curious?
To see if Nick is awake.
As a matter of fact, he is.
That's wonderful. I thought he probably was. The money is thankfully going to begin coming into my life soon in a different way, and I'm truly grateful for that.
I understand.
And I guess I'm kind of wanting to know, I work part-time, if I'm to continue with that. Sometimes I feel like the answer is yes, and other times I feel like this great joy that I could get up and go somewhere. So I don't really know what's appropriate in that.
It is very important for you to have this involvement.
Okay.
It's important for you to have the schedule and the activity. It keeps you from being alone.
I did know that.
Don't abandon it.
Can you tell me any other ways that would be helpful for me to maybe not be alone? I know that I isolate myself and that I've done that for a long time. I feel that it's getting better. And changes are happening. Well, you know about them.
Yes.
I don't. But you do. And I'm just trying to allow that as much as I can. But I'm still not involved very much, other than my job, with people.
That is enough.
Okay.
More importantly, I want you to give your attention to being grateful for what you have. And don't waste your time being ungrateful about or preoccupied with the things you don't have.
Okay.
The saying is, what you appreciate appreciates.
Yes, thank you.
I want you to go on a diet of gratitude for everything you have.
Okay, I will do that.
Because you are blessed.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Blessings fade into the background when the attention is given to what you don't have.
Okay.
And with it, the experience of gratitude.
Yes.
And gratitude is a form of love, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Gratitude is a form of acknowledging God.
Yes.
Gratitude is a form of witnessing for God.
Yes, it is. And one that is wonderful for me.
Yes. Your shoes are shoes anyone would love to stand in.
Thank you. I know that.
You're welcome.
Is it okay if I go on a diet? I really... I really don't know how to look at that. It's silly, but I do a real dance. I lose my focus of gratitude and other things with this dance that I do, going back and forth about being uncomfortable, being so overweight, and my feet.
The answer to your question of whether you can go on a diet is, of course.
Oh, good. and exercise and all of that is healthy and okay.
It is indeed.
Thank you. I don't know how I can be so silly about that, but I can.
Enjoy it.
Thank you, I will.
Enjoy honoring yourself in this way.
I will. And I thank you for the healing. That's physical healing. That's
You're welcome.
happening too.
And thank yourself for letting it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We will take a break. Okay. Hands. The lady here. If you'll pass this back.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
It's difficult to even get all the information out, but about 6 or 7 years ago, I started a business in which I believe I was following my heart. And I've struggled with that business, keeping it alive on the side for years and years. And finally moved from one state, from Georgia, to here with the intention of growing it and putting all of my energies into it instead of piecemealing to try to stay alive. And when I got here, I ran into a number of different difficulties with regulations and what I could do or couldn't do in this state. And so what I found was that I was going to have to find a money source in order to create this business and really put everything and fight for it with everything that I had. And with all the odds seeming against me, I managed to do that. And now I've created the base for the business, and it's ready to go. Everything has been done, all the work has been done. It's 1.5 years that we've been working on it. I've taken on a partner. And now I find myself in a position of having to go out into the world and bring it to me, but in a business sense, where everything that I've done in the past has been in a survival sense of just marketing with my heart. And that's what's come to me. But now I feel as if I've created this financial fear and
so you're very tempted to abandon your heart and conduct yourself according to the rules of business.
I don't want to.
But you are tempted to.
I'm tempted to because I feel like I may have to. So I guess my question is how can I go and bring this without compromising my spirit?
You can't. Unless you stay absolutely in harmony with your spirit, you will find it failing. This is not the point at which to shift the basis of this gift. The system implies a code and manner of conduct. But you know what? You don't have to pay any attention to it. What I mean by that is, you must certainly meet the requirements that the laws require you to fulfill. Mm-hmm. But you don't have to think the way the system thinks. You don't have to define what you're doing according to the definitions the system has established. There's a saying, think to be heard of God and speak to be heard of men. Now, where you must interface with the system by law, do it. Anything else you do relative to your business can be done from the heart with the definitions the heart provides. Because the simple fact is that the government and the IRS doesn't give a hoot how you're thinking about what you're doing, as long as you provide them with the information that they require you provide. So when you deal with them, you speak to be heard of them. And the rest of it, you speak from your heart with the meanings and definitions that your heart gives it, and don't dishonor your vision.
This leads me into...
I'm going to mention something that someone once shared with Paul. It was relative to a Christian Scientist who had found herself in the hospital, which was not her normal way of dealing with a physical problem. And she had a great awakening. While in the hospital, she realized that she could define the hospital bed according to medical terms and of it being in a hospital, or she could define it as the arms of love embracing her. And she did not have to look at it and determine it to be what it was believed to be by everyone else. You see? Mm-hmm. Now, the Northwest Foundation for A Course in Miracles is an accommodation to the system. If there are contributions, if there is a movement of money, it must be accounted for with the IRS. But that doesn't mean that Paul has to think of it as a business. And it isn't a business. It's an expression of love. It's what's happening here today. There's a contribution bowl over there, and at the end of the day, it will need to be tallied up and put in the bank, and the moment it's put in the bank and a record is there, it must be reported to the IRS. So, that happens. They say, this is evidence of a business function. Paul sees it as an expression of love and appreciation, not a way to keep the business going, you see? At times, Paul is severely challenged by the bookwork, because the amount of bookwork makes it seem as though he's involved in a business. Mm-hmm. But it's like render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's and render unto God the things that are God's. So you meet the requirement without being influenced to believe the definitions that the system has given to the bookwork. Mm-hmm. You stay with the love, you stay with your heart, you stay with the inner vision, and you conduct yourself that way. And the aspects of it that the law requires you to report or account for it, but it doesn't mean you have to buy into the whole thought system. Do you see?
I do, and I find myself of working with that idea of having to get to this point in the last year and a half. I'd had to battle with that a lot on which way the whole government versus what I'm doing in my business. But I think now it's more of an issue of personal separation, or like an artist in a sense. It's almost like now I'm in a position of putting it out there and putting myself, I'm exposing myself. And so in exposing my heart, it's the fear of whether I've attached so much to my business and my love for it as an expression of my heart that now I'm waiting for the chopping block to come down or something, like, nope, wrong decision, you've worked this hard and,
I've said it before, every time Paul gets up on the platform and sits down on the chair, he puts his neck on the line. He has to dare to be a fool.
Yeah.
Because he's not in charge. You've got to dare to be the fool by letting nothing stand in the way of your expression of your love. And you've got to let the chips fall where they may, because it costs you too much to squelch your love.
Yeah.
If you squelch your love and its expression, you abandon your integrity. And you stop glorifying God, or at least you try to, and when you try to block God, it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And if you don't go ahead and risk the chance that there is a God, if you don't go ahead and put your neck out there or your ass, instead of everyone else kicking you around, you'll kick yourself around. It doesn't matter if anyone else wants to kick you around for what you're doing, because that's their loss. Even if they try to do it, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you've remained in your integrity. You're not doing it for them. And as I said to the lady minister here earlier, if you cater to them and become what they want, they'll abandon you. Because you've abandoned yourself.
Thanks.
So what if it's scary? You've just got to do it. You've got to make the gift because that's your function. And there need to be more examples in the world of people who are fulfilling their function and apparently doing it in the realm of business. There are more people who are needed as examples of how to be in the business world but not of it, so that others are inspired to have the guts to do likewise, because that's the way change will occur. Always as change begins to occur, there's great resistance to it. And so the first ones to do it are like pioneers. And the ones that come later, it's a breeze. You can't afford to grouse about the fact that it's hard work. You're not only having to push against the status quo, the established system, you're having to push against whatever amount of conditioning that the system has provided that you have taken on for yourself. So you're challenging, your fears are illustrating to you that you are challenging some conditionings within yourself. Great. But don't abandon the vision. Don't abandon the vision. Don't abandon your heart. You give it all the meaning it has. The first lesson in A Course in Miracles says, nothing I see means anything. And what it really means is nothing has the meaning I'm giving it. So you can give new meaning that is a closer approximation of truth. And you can operate according to those meanings. And as you do that, as all of us do that, the status quo shifts, the system changes. So, bullshit on abandoning your vision.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, hands. The lady right here.
Hi, I'm visiting from Florida, and this is my first time here. So I don't really, I've done about 20 years of unlearning, and so I'm really celebrating right now in my life, and I'm very joyous. So
You're only 20 years old.
Thank you. Thank you. So I don't really have a question formulated in that sense. I'm just very open right now, and I was maybe hoping that you could give me something that I could receive or embrace as I go forward.
You are already loaded with stuff to take forward with you. Just from being here, the amount of time you have. But the one thing I would share with you is that contrary to what you might think, you right now are in the middle of the ultimate, not working toward it, not even outside the loop, as it were, and therefore lost. You can call the ultimate reality or the kingdom of heaven, whatever you like, but the ultimate that you envision that there might be is what you're in the middle of right now. It's what everyone is in the middle of right now. And instead of assuming that all the definitions you have for everything are true, be willing to assume that maybe none of the definitions are true, and that everything you are experiencing is more than you think it is, actually of an ultimate nature, whether it's a leaf, or a fingernail, or a strand of hair, or a body, or whatever. And begin to practice curiosity, together with a willingness to have an experience of revelation, or of insight, about anything and everything that you've been familiar with, so that you have a new experience of it that is a closer approximation of reality.